If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I'm doing this video. I have been asked by many people to cover it. I'm getting around to it now. It's about this game called Far Cry 5. Now, I need to cover video games more, I think, because there are so many young teens out there that play it. I always forget that this is a big thing, gaming. Not that I've never played video games before or anything like that. I always forget how big this is with kids and how they can be influenced through it. I've covered some games before that people have pointed out to me that actually were filled with nothing but satanic imagery, as well as human and animal sacrifice inside of a pentagram. I covered that last year, thanks to a subscriber that pointed it out. Many people have asked me to cover this one, so I looked into it. And I cannot even believe the propaganda that I see from watching the trailer and then researching what this game is about. And of course, it's being promoted by websites like Business Insider. Because guess what the plot of the video game is? Guess what they're trying to brainwash kids into thinking and fighting against? Quote unquote, religious zealots. And it has every single inkling of meaning Christianity. Because that's exactly what they're talking about in the game. Willingly jumping on board, they say. Some folks are willingly jumping on board with the religious extremists. It seems that the majority are being forced against their will in the video game to follow this guy who's even shown as a preacher and being a spiritual leader of this Christian group, giving people forced baptism. So what do you think the subliminal mind control is here? Forced baptisms. Now, as Christians, we all know that you cannot be forced into salvation. You have to find salvation. But they're saying, listen, Christians are forcing their beliefs on people. They're forcing Jesus on people. They're forcing their bigotry on people because they're not going along with transgenderism and all of the ridiculous stuff we see in the world. This is a war on Christianity. And this video game is geared towards who? It's geared towards teenagers. Young teens, older teens, 20-year-olds, millennials. They even show a scene where a guy is killed and he has some type of crucifix through his back. It says there appears to be a strict adherence to Christianity to an extreme where people representative of the 7 sins are being hunted down. So anyone who sins is being murdered. It's absolute propaganda. And we all know what the goal of this is, to continue to turn people on Christians. They're using every form of media they could possibly find. They use it on television all the time. They make Christians look like fools. We have these fake evangelists that are a part of the elite system who go on TV begging for money, talking about salvation through money and all these other things. We see characters on shows who are Christians are always dorky and weird and creepy and get made fun of. We see the Jimmy Kimmels of the world mocking Jesus all the time in skits. You're only allowed in this world to mock Jesus, apparently, because they don't talk about anything else. I don't see anybody mocking that fat tub of lard Buddha. How come nobody's mocking that fat boy? Take a guess why. Because the only enemy to the elites are Christians, because Jesus Christ is their enemy. They hate Jesus Christ. They detest God. They detest the Bible. And they detest people who follow it. And they detest anyone who refuses to conform with their ideologies. So you see in this game, we hear a preacher preaching. His name is the Father. Sound familiar? That's the guy's name. The game's villain is a religious zealot. His name is the Father. Joseph Seed, right? More subliminal programming with seeds, planting seeds, mocking God. But the man calls himself Father. And he has a cult-like following of religious zealots who are forcing their beliefs on people. And if people don't want to believe in it, they'll either kill you or force it on you. What's funny about it is that's exactly the opposite of what's going on. They're forcing their beliefs on people through mind control into accepting the Baphomet, into accepting this insanity, this transgenderism, all the crap we see going on. And with this, you get the opposite, right? This isn't really what's going on, but they're going to make us look this way. They already are, because we're the ones not going along with stuff, right? Look how we're portrayed, again, in the media with all these things going on around the world. We see the town, Hope County, Montana, because they want it to be representative of small town rural America, where you see right on the sign instead of Hope County, somebody spray paints the word sinner across it. And isn't it interesting that they would release a game like that? They tell us that Muslims are our enemy, that all this stuff's going on over in the Middle East, that these people, that ISIS exists, that our government's actually not funding it. I mean, all this crap that we're supposed to buy into, that they would make a game. And instead of having the Muslims, they couldn't do that, right? Having them the enemy, it's Christians. Christians who are doing nothing wrong, who are following their beliefs, who aren't preaching and following tolerance and acceptance of all things, because we don't believe in the do without wilt mindset, because we're not sick. We have morals. We have beliefs. We have foundation, something that these sick pups don't have. So what are they teaching? I mean, isn't it funny how they, some of the stuff they deem wrong and we can't have out in the world? This is okay, a game where there's a religious group which is portrayed as Christians, people walking around holding what appears to be Bibles, but they won't write the word Bible on it, right? So they have this almost like a cross, but it's not fully a crucifix. We know who they're talking about, unless they're really dumb. And the guy calling himself Father, wow, wonder who he's supposed to be playing the role of, right? He's not supposed to be Jesus, is he? Is that what he's supposed to be? That's what they're trying to make it subliminally be. And this is how mind control works. So this is targeting young teens out there to not like Christians, to look at us all as religious zealots who are forcing their belief on people. This is how mind control works. Now, look at the video games that have come out in the past. We've seen Grand Theft Auto and really how it's dumbed down people and made them even more, interested in becoming a criminal it's so ridiculous, these games and the propaganda they push. When I grew up, it was Mario Brothers, there was Tecmo Bowl, some sports games, and I get it if you don't like sports or whatever, but the stuff they have now, they use this as a medium for mind control. There's people literally who create these fairy tale lands that they live in these games. Like they have avatars I've read about, and they date people through their avatar. I mean, crazy stuff, embarrassing stuff. But nonetheless, people like to play video games, and they're into these games, and they're using this to brainwash people. And they're convincing young teens that being Christian's bad, that it's wrong, that we're crazy, that we're extremists. That's what they make it look like, extremists, because Christians, again, are portrayed as what? We want guns. All Christians are, they go to church and they claim, that they read the Bible and how God's about love and peace, and then they want guns and stuff like that, because people don't understand the guns aren't to kill other people, it's to protect us from our government, for crying out loud, or protect us in our own homes, because we can't rely on our government or our police to protect us if something does happen or did happen, or even if it was something locally that happened and you had to protect yourself against people. But they make it seem like Christians want guns, they want to kill people, they're crazy, and if you don't believe in what they believe in, they want to kill you. And that's the message they're sending to teens and kids out there. So this is absolutely appalling. It's appalling. And I apologize for not getting to this sooner, because a lot of people did message me about it, but I wasn't aware that video games now, I thought I'd have to play the game or something to figure out what it was. But apparently video games now have trailers like movies. How crazy is that? Video games literally have movie trailers to promote the games, where they show you the whole plot, the whole experience. It's almost like, it literally is like watching a movie. And I guess playing in a movie is the experience that people get. And people love it. And they're going to use this now. They're going to use it for more than just this, more than just attacks on Christians. But it's amazing that Christian organizations aren't just outraged by this kind of stuff. Outraged. They even show a picture here of the three people, I guess, who were supposed to be the ones who are going to fight to free Hope County from the religious zealots. One of them happens to be a priest, it looks like. He's wearing a priest outfit and he's holding a gun. So what does that say, right? About the Catholic Church, promoting the Catholic Church. I mean, the Jesuits probably are behind the game, but look at that, the hero. Isn't that a conflict of interest, some would say? That you see, you guys who listen to this channel, you see the programming there. Well, Christians are bad, Christian zealots are bad, but this Catholic priest is good because he's going against the Christian zealots. He's even wielding a gun. It's amazing. It really is. So this is Far Cry 5. And it's a far cry from the games I grew up playing, I'll tell you that. When you got trailers and stuff for these video games, and they can use it for predictive programming now. It's amazing how they're going after these kids, and people don't see the agenda. They are coming after them from every perspective possible. Every perspective. Every form of technology. We will see all of these New World agendas pushed. We will see attacks on Christianity, mockery of Christianity, all of this stuff. That's all part of their plan. And this is how they're going to brainwash all of these young teens out there into not only being Satanists without realizing it by living the do without will mindset, because they'll say, well, that's what Satanism is. You don't really worship this big red guy with horns. It's just more of a mindset of tolerance and accepting of all, because that's what the Satanic Temple tries to say, right? They go, well, Satanists are the ultimate form of rebellion. Like we're rebels and we're free and we believe in everybody can do what they want. And everybody's going to go along and love it. They're not going to be aware of the human sacrifice rituals and all that stuff in the beginning. Over time, they'll be willing to do it because you know what they'll do? They'll say, hey, if you put blood on your face to get rid of your wrinkles, I can. If you eat a brain, you can get rid of cancer. Really? You don't think they're going to go along with it? That's how dumbed down of a world we are. People refuse to believe mind control is real because of their pride. Oh, no one's influencing me. Oh, no, they don't realize everything they like in their lives is based off of influence and mind control and things that they've been subjected to throughout their lives. You grow up around, your parents listen to a certain type of music, you're likely to like it. Or you're around kids more than your parents in school, then you start adapting to them and the way they dress and the things they're around. You watch TV all day, they're going to start acting like the characters in your favorite show or developing the same traits. It's how it works. It's how the brain, it's human nature. They've realized how to manipulate it and control it. And that's what they do to us through the media. They are trying to obviously, herd us. And that's what they've done to everyone out there who's asleep. They're all part of the herd, going along with this stuff, not realizing that this isn't free thought and free will, that they're doing exactly what they want. And the next thing they want is for everyone to turn on Christians. And we already see it happening everywhere. Nobody likes Christian. I get messages all, Christian, leave the God out of these videos. Oh, who wants to hear about that? Oh, don't you realize that, Christianity is the ultimate form of control, that the New World Order created Christianity, as a way to control? No, actually, no. The only truth in this world is Jesus Christ, and the truth shall set you free. And when you wake up and you realize that, your mind becomes free. I thank you for listening to today's show. Stay away from garbage like this. These games, don't let it pollute your mind. Realize that they're coming at you from all angles. They're always, always, always taking any opportunity they can to brainwash us. So be aware at all times. Try to always stay alert. Stay consciously thinking. Don't allow yourself to walk around asleep. Again, I thank you all. God bless you and your families.